Good morning, everyone. My gosh, it is so dark this morning. I know it never looks it on camera, but it's one of those mornings where I think I'm gonna have to turn on a light because it is just so unbelievably dark. It's also gone like really chilly. We've had such a cold snap this last week. I can't believe I've actually got on my my cashmere socks and I am absolutely loving them. I just want to say thank you so much for the love on Tuesday's video. You guys were so lovely. It's so nice to be back vlogging, chatting to you guys and all that jazz. And yeah, you just were so lovely on Tuesday's video, and I'm very glad that you all took the video kind of like as it should be. I didn't bother putting in a disclaimer because I think everyone films those videos and everyone does those disclaimers, and I think we're all grown up enough by this point that if you don't like those kinds of videos, you just don't watch them. So yeah, very glad that you all enjoyed that video, and thank you so much for the comments about the cashmere socks. I had a few people messaging me about them and like how to look after them and maintain them. I will make sure to do my best not to put them in the wash, to hand wash them, and I need to buy one of those cashmere brush things to keep them looking really nice. This is actually my first like piece of cashmere that I think I've ever owned. I've never found cashmere that soft in the past, but these socks are the softest things I've ever tried on my feet in my life, so I am very happy about them. But today I had a few things that I wanted to show you guys. There's been a lot of home updates going on over the Christmas period. I don't know about you, but when I'm in the crimbo limbo, can't say that right. When I'm in the crimbo limbo, I get really antsy. Well, basically, I just like the flat to be tidy, neat, like all of that jazz, and it really upsets me when I know that there's things that need doing. So like over November and December, it was just the busiest couple of months I've ever had in my life in terms of work, and I just didn't have a spare minute. Like I was working weekends and genuinely working like every single evening, so just loads of things were piling up. Like I had so many new in things from brands, which was really lovely, but it meant that my wardrobes were overflowing, all the cupboards were overflowing, like the bathroom needed a really deep clean, you know, like boring things like the shower head needed descaling, and just like really kind of like, I'd say mundane jobs, but like just like lots of things, like lots of organizing and sorting basically. So I pretty much spent 3 days straight from the 26th to the 29th just blitzing the flat, and I am so happy with how it's looking. I've also been doing a little bit of DIYing, which I know, who even am I? I am not a DIY kind of a gal, and I was really worried that it would go wrong, but actually it ended up quite like, it worked out, and I'm really happy. So I'm going to update you on all of that. I'm going to show you around the flat and all of the new bits, but first of all I wanted to show you a few new and things that I've gotten from both Zara Home and H&M Home, because obviously when you're at home and you're just doing nothing other than cleaning the flat, you're going to be scrolling a lot on online websites. So I did order just a few things from both Zara Home and H&M Home, so I thought I would show you guys them in this video, and then I can show you around the flat and all of the newness that has been going on. So it's time to show you what I picked up at H&M and Zara Home. I don't know about you guys, but I love shopping homeware. I just find it so much fun. Like I sometimes find shopping homeware more fun than like fashion and stuff kind of shopping. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but I just think it's a lot more like, I don't know, you can get a lot more experimental. And what I've been doing a lot of over the kind of like Christmas period is just Pinteresting loads, and I really enjoyed it because I basically just was a little bit unhappy with kind of like how the flat was looking, and I knew it was just going to be really small little tweaks that needed to be made. So all of these things aren't going to be huge like, we bought a sofa, like, you know, massive updates. It's just going to be little things and like little changes that I've made. But I think it kind of goes to show that like if you're unhappy with something, you don't have to go to the extreme and like really drastic measures to change it up and like make it different and spend loads of money. Like you can just start with really little tweaks and then go from there and like see what works, and then if something's still not working for you, you can then maybe look to make an investment. So that's what I've been doing over the past couple of weeks. So I'm going to start off with Zara Home because I only picked one item up from Zara Home, and I'm not going to lie, I feel like this is going to be such a Marmite item. You're either going to love this or you're going to hate this. I bought a giant head. do you know what? The funny thing is that this head is actually kind of like similar size to mine. That just goes to show, I always say that I have a pea head and a lot of you guys don't quite realise. Look at this. Like, I do really have quite a pea head. But I picked this up from Zara Home and I'm in love. I absolutely love it. You guys will probably know I love my my busts, my heads, my kind of like sculptures and vases and things like that. I just really think it kind of like adds a bit of dimension to a room. And I especially love buying those kinds of things from Zara Home and H&M Home because they are so affordable but look so much more expensive than they are. Oh, you can't see it. I'll show you a vase in a minute actually that I bought from H&M Home, and Alex's mum could not believe it because she has quite a lot of like you know, like bespoke things in their home, and she saw it and she was like, I cannot believe how much that vase is. I need to get that in my life because it just looks so much more expensive than it is. She's got like really classy taste in her home, so for her to have like been so shocked at that price and to love it that much just goes to show how amazing H&M and Zara Home are. But yes, picked up this bust. I think this was only about $29.99. But I will link in the description box for you guys so you can shop it if you want to. But I really like it. I have a feeling this is probably a Greek god, and I have a feeling that my brother will text me what Greek god this is because he knows all the gods really well, and he's going to text me like, you idiot, are you serious? You don't know who that is. But I really like her. I think we need to come up with a name for her. Leave a comment below what you think she should be called because I think she's a very beautiful woman and I think she needs like a beautiful woman's name. And then from H&M Home, I actually totally forgot to include this in my Christmas presents video because I'd already put it on the shelves, and there was actually a couple of things that I have already like put out and been using and blah blah blah, and I forgot to include them in the video, so I will show you them in today's video. But this was actually the kindest present from my brother's girlfriend. She is an absolute sweetheart and knows me so well, and I've been eyeing up this bust for so long. It's genuinely been my favourites on H&M Home since about October, and I've been debating whether to buy it for myself, so when I unwrapped this at Christmas I was just blown away. So grateful, and I think you guys all know this is just totally my vibe, my cup of tea. I absolutely love her. She's another beautiful woman. I think I know that this is a famous statue, but I don't know the name of who this statue is. I just call her my beautiful woman. So yeah, really like her. She's on like this little plinth, which I think looks really cute, and actually she's quite small, so if you are looking for maybe something a bit more like subtle or something that can just kind of be like styled up quite easily, I would say this is a really great option. I will link it down below in the description box for you guys, but I just absolutely love her. I think she's so gorgeous, really beautiful ceramic, and I think she looks so much more expensive than she actually is. Next, I picked up some pillows. Now, I have been wanting to change up the colour scheme in this room a little bit. Before, I don't know if you guys will remember, we had white pillows with like a blue trim, and I really liked them, but I just think I want to go a bit more kind of like, I'm not going to say monochromatic, but a bit more tonal, and I want it to be a lot more like beige tones running through, very neutral and all that jazz. I've decided I'm going to do a colour scheme in each room, so you guys will see my office in a minute obviously has a colour scheme, and then I'm not going to show you the bedroom in today's video because it's still nowhere near finished. I still have so much to do in that room, and I swear I've been saying that for absolutely months, but bedrooms are hard, guys. They are really hard. And also because we spend the least amount of time in that, so I've got a really itchy eye today. You know when you like, you can't itch because you've got mascara on. Yeah. Obviously because it's the room we spend the least amount of time in, it's the room that I kind of prioritise least, and because I'm in here, I'd rather make lots of small changes in here than like a big change in there, because this is the room that like I think affects my mood more, because obviously we're in this room more, like we spend all day in it, especially now we're in lockdown. So yeah, I think that room is still going to be a bit of a work in progress. But to show you the pillows, picked up a few cases from H&M Home. Now they obviously do fillings as well, but I already had these fillings, and these were actually from H&M Home, so I'll link them down below if you want to shop the particular fillings that I have. These are just the actual cases, so these I think are literally just called beige pillowcase. Very boring, but they're the stunning like oatmeal colour, and I really liked them. I like having a couple of throw pillows on the sofa just because obviously it's very white, and I think it kind of just breaks up the whiteness a little bit, and it just adds a little bit of warmth to it. Obviously a white sofa can be a little bit cold, a little bit too kind of like stark, so I just wanted to warm it up. I think the white pillows that we had before, they just weren't doing it for me anymore. It was too much white, so I wanted something to warm it up. So I got these two. So they're matching, so we got two cases there, and then I also picked up a bit more of like a patterned kind of like detail case. Now this, I can't remember what it's called, but I will link it down below. It's got this really gorgeous trim to it, and I really, really like these kinds of pillows. I think they add a little bit of detail without adding any pattern or too much texture or color. You can still add a really, really gorgeous bit of detail onto the pillow, and I think it's just really, really cute. Again, it's just a little throw pillow just to kind of like tuck under your arm, have behind your back. I really like having pillows. I'm very particular about my pillows. If I'm eating on the sofa, I like to have a pillow behind me so that I can kind of like sit up a bit more straight. And then when I'm chilling, I like to have a pillow like tucked under my arm like that. Don't know why, that's just how I like to sit on the sofa. But yeah, I will link these both down below for you guys. All of these items will be linked down below in the Zara bust so that you guys can shop them if you want to. And I feel like we need to get on with showing you the flat updates. Do you know what I've just realised? I so should have filmed a before clip before I made these changes, because especially if you've not been around here for a long time, you might not have really seen them, because obviously everything in December was a bit different with the tree up and everything, and I don't think I really like showed you in detail the flat, so that's really annoying. I'm gonna see if I can find some footage from maybe some old vlogs where you can see the before, but if not, what I'll do actually is I'm gonna put a photo here of what it looked like before, so you can just see like the really slight subtle changes that I have been making. So here we are. Now you might be looking at this thinking, Ellie, this looks no different, but I'm going to talk you through the changes and talk you through what's been happening. So obviously this is all like no change, the kitchen table and everything. However, the living room has changed slightly. Now, if you were following along in Vlogmas, you'll know the tree was over here. Before the tree was there, this chair was over here, but I've kind of like updated this little corner, and I've now updated this corner over here from where the chair was. So we had to move it over there so that when the tree was up, there was somewhere for it to go. But I wanted to have a bit more space over there. It was way too cramped with the chair there, but it's nice having it because it means that when we have guests, we can just move it back over, and there's an extra seat for people to sit on. Now, one of the biggest changes that I can notice that I have made is my coffee table. Now, what you'll notice is the legs are slightly different. I DIY'd, guys. I DIY'd. So I decided to spray paint the legs. Now, what I was noticing in this room is there was just too much wood. We have obviously the wood of this table. This wood is slightly different, and then the legs were a slightly different wood again. And I just really wasn't feeling it. It was annoying me. I felt like it was too light, and I felt like these legs just needed to be black. So I went out and bought some spray paint, and I spray painted them, and I'm so proud of myself. I had to take it out on the balcony, put some sheets down, like it was a whole ordeal, but I did it, and I think it looks so, so good. I taped it and everything so that it wouldn't like spray paint the actual marble, and it's turned out absolutely amazing. I wanted it to be matching the shelves so that they looked a bit more like kind of like pieces together rather than looking like separate items, and I really, really like it. I think it really makes the marble stand out as well on the table, and also the legs of this chair is black. So I was like, I just want it all to be black. And I also decided to spray paint this table. Now, you probably won't recognize this table because this table is actually something that I bought off Facebook Marketplace, and I only really wanted it as kind of like extra storage for when I want to get like shots with a marble coffee table, things like that. So I didn't expect to actually use it for the living room, but I ended up placing it over in that corner once I'd moved the chair, because I felt like the corner was really empty once I'd moved it, and I really liked how it looked. But it had silver legs. So annoying I didn't take a photo for you guys. I'm so, so sorry. But it had like silver shiny legs, and I really, really didn't like that, so I'm going to spray paint that as well. But Alex was really, really concerned because obviously it's metal, so he was like, oh, I don't think it's going to work, like you can't spray paint wood and metal with the same spray paint. Oh guys, you can. You can. I will link the spray paint that I used down below because it was fab. Like, it was really easy to use. It ran out kind of quickly, so I did have to go out and buy some more. But it was really, really handy and like really easy to use, so I was really happy with that. So yes, even a silver shiny leg can be spray painted matte black. Now, it is matte black, but I wouldn't say it's like matte, like it's a little bit shiny, which I really, really like. So I've just kind of like starred up this little corner over here, just like this, and I really, really like how it looks. If you're wondering, this is where we keep blankets. We don't really have like a full basket just because we pull them in and out so, so much, and it was just really annoying me because the baskets were always overflowing and getting really messy. So we now just tuck them behind the sofa, mainly because when you're like over here, you can't see it at all, so it doesn't bother me. And then also that one is just for display. The amount of times that Alex tries to nick that blanket, and I'm like, no. He's going, what's the point in having a basket just for display? I'm like, babe, no. So anyway, I also have updated the shelves a little bit. You will see my new purchases on here. So here's my little Zara bust. I think it looks really, really nice. And this is my little lady bust from H&M Home. I love her so much. Thank you so much for that, Charlotte. It's just the cutest thing in the world. But I'm really happy with how I've styled up these shelves. As you can see, I've just kind of like moved it about a little bit. Haven't done too much changes. One thing that I bought Alex for Christmas, which was kind of a present for me, is proper stands for his record players. So basically they just wouldn't really stay upright properly. We couldn't find book ends that would keep them together, and he ended up having to lay them like flat, and I just kept saying to him they're going to get so damaged. So I bought him proper bookends, which means that they can stand up nicely, and then obviously as his collection grows, the book, you know, you can just expand them out. And it actually keeps the records in place, which is very, very nice. So I've got my Zara bust beside there. It's really annoying, guys, how you can see the switchboard behind the shelves. But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. It's just something you've got to live with. You'll also notice there's loads of wires around here. I have not tidied up the wires for you guys. We have so many chargers and wires and everything that was always sticking out, and it's just something that you just have to live with, really. So it doesn't bother me too much. But yes, we've got his record there. I've got some like vases. This one's from Oka. I will try and link everything I can in the description box for you guys, because I know I always get loads of questions about my shelves, about where everything's from and everything like that. So these vases are from Oka. Then we just got some magazines underneath. No idea where that picture frame's from. Alex got me that. And then I just used my Glow by Lydia box there, because I think it looks really, really sweet. The monochromatic kind of style of the box really goes with this, and it's just nice to have a bit of extra storage. We then have some Dior boxes again, just for extra storage. And then I also have my new Dior book. You would have seen this if you watched one of my last Vlogmas videos. I think this is in my what I got myself for Christmas video. Picked it up from HomeSense, which is absolutely amazing. I'll also link it on Amazon, because I didn't realise it's the same price on Amazon than it is on HomeSense. So may as well have bought it off Amazon months ago, but oh well. Now this is the vase I was talking about when I was saying about the whole looks more expensive. This vase was $25.99. Genuinely, when I tell people that, they cannot believe it. I don't think H&M stock it anymore, unfortunately. If they do, I'll link it down below, but I don't think they do. But it's just the best purchase I think I ever made of 2020. And then over here we have a few things. Now this bust is also from H&M Home. I wasn't going to include it in the haul because I've owned it for about 6 months. However, they've brought it back out, which is very, very exciting for you guys. So I'll link it down below. You can still shop it. It is such a great vase. Loads of people use it for flowers. You can use it for storage. I just use it to put some like ivy in, just to drape down, to add a little bit kind of like texture going down at the shelves. You can use it for so many different things, and it's very, very affordable. I think off the top of my head it's only $29.99. But again, I'll link it down below. Also, we have all my coffee table books, of course, and then this is a really sweet present that my brother actually got Alex for Christmas. He really likes egg timers. Are they egg timers? What are they called? Sand timers. And he also wanted to get him a present that I would approve of, and so he got him something that both Alex would like, and also I would be very appreciative that it's very aesthetic to go in the flat. So thank you very much for that. But it's really, really cute. I really like it. The black and gold goes so, so well with our living room. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now this is another new item that I got. I was gonna bring it over, but to be honest, it's plugged in and I just did not have the patience for that. So this is a new vase I picked up from Dunelm. Now let me tell you, Zara Home has an identical vase to this for £40 more. This vase is reduced to £33 at the moment. Lamp. This lamp is reduced to £33 at the moment, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. It's got this really nice kind of like textured base, which is really, really cool. It looks very like rustic and very like undone, and then it has the gorgeous oatmeal shade, and it's reduced to £30, which is so, so good. So I'll link that down below in the description box as well if you guys want to shop that, because as I said, Zara has an identical one for like £40 more expensive. I've seen so many people featuring the Zara one on their Instagrams that they picked up, and I'm like, guys, do your research. And then this little corner over here, I'm absolutely loving how it looks. So we have my made chair here. I always get so many questions on this from you guys. Unfortunately, this exact chair is no longer available, but they do have really similar like boucle style chairs. So I will link them all down below in the description box for you if you want to shop them. This is actually a little stool that I got last year from my little brother. They do a really similar one at Zara Home as well, so I will link that down below for you guys if you want to shop it. And now this is something, again, I forgot to include in my what I got for Christmas. This is a little olive tree that my sister got me, and I'm so obsessed. Just to explain it a little bit, basically we were at Ochre, I think it must have been just after the first lockdown. It was in summer at some point, and I saw they had olive trees, and I honestly just fell in love. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the cutest thing in the world. I need it in my life. I love it. And it was obviously from Ochre, so it was quite expensive, and like I was like, oh, I don't think Alex would like it, you know. I just kind of left it, and I left it at that, and my sister remembered, and she found this on Wayfair. I will see if I can try and find it and link it down below for you guys, because it's the cutest thing, and it's faux. That is something I didn't mention. It is faux. So I don't have to water it. I don't have to put it in the sun or anything like that. You guys know I'm awful with houseplants. Absolutely awful. So I knew that I would never like actually be able to look after it if I got a real one. So it's faux, and it's just the cutest thing in the world. When it arrived, obviously it was a bit like squished up. As soon as you just like open up the branches and everything like that, it looks so cute. And I really like, I know it's really hard to see with the light, I'm very sorry, but I love how it looks in this little corner. I think it just looks really cute. It's like a very nice little like feature point over here. I absolutely love it, but it looks really real as well. Now, if you can look here at the bark, if it will focus, look at that. That's all faux. But it looks so real. So we just keep that over here now, and I love how it looks. I think it looks really cute. And also, even though obviously it is winter, it gives me a bit of a Mediterranean vibes over here with the like light wood. We've got like the bark art, the big windows, and this little feature I think just looks absolutely adorable. And then the final update to show you guys is my stool. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you all know this stool did not used to be black. This used to be a similar colour to the table, but still not quite the same wood. So again, another different wood that was in this room that just was not working out. I was not a fan of it. I did not like how it looked. So I spray painted this with the same spray paint. So again, I've managed to do wood, metal, wood, which is absolutely amazing. And I guess that's why the spray paint ran out so quickly, because there's a lot of like features to this. Obviously you've got like front, you've got to do front, back, like underneath, lots of different bits that needed spray painting. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of like make it blend the kitchen a little bit more. As you can see, I am going for a bit more of like a monochromatic look around here, and I really like how it looks. So I just wanted the stool to reflect that as well and blend into the kitchen. Obviously the bin's black and everything like that, so I wanted it to really like blend in, and I'm so happy with how it looks. I think it is absolutely fabulous. The fact that I didn't have to buy a new stool, because obviously you can buy a black stool from IKEA, but when we moved into our first flat like 2 years ago, I didn't know I would want a black stool. I thought I would want a nice wooden one, but I changed my mind, and the nice thing is that I was able to spray paint it and not have to spend any more money on a new stool. But yeah, this is now what the living rooms look like. I really like how these pillows look, and just add that little bit of kind of like tonal colour onto the sofa without adding any texture, any pattern, anything too much. I really like it. So yeah, this is what the flat is currently looking like. I'm so happy with how it looks. And then I also just want to show you another room. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'd have seen it, that I had put on my story saying like, guys, I'm getting the ick again with my office. And it's just something I knew I wasn't 100% happy with it. It was just like, you know, when it's something you can't put your finger on, and I was like, it's just not quite right. I'm just not 100% happy with how it looks. And to be perfectly honest, I just wasn't spending a lot of time in here, and I think I kind of like nailed down what it was. I spent so much time on Pinterest, pinning so many different like offices, and on Instagram and everything like that, looking at offices from like I Covet Thee and Susie Benaldi, Alyssa Lenore, or Chloe Rose. Like, I just really liked looking at how they'd styled up their offices, how they were using their space, and just kind of like looking at what I could probably take from that. And one thing I kind of realised in this office is that I just wasn't really using it as an office. Obviously it is my wardrobe / office space, but it is kind of difficult because I do have like most of my everyday clothes in our bedroom, and then this is kind of just like my overflow / shoot outfits. So I mainly only really use that wardrobe for like new in clothes that I need to shoot, sorting out brand collabs and like new content and everything like that. So it's not really much of a wardrobe room. Like, I don't ever get dressed in here. I only really do hair and makeup and stuff, so I think my main problem is it just felt too much like a wardrobe. It didn't feel enough like an office. And I think a big part of that was due to the shelves. I realised that the shelves were just a bit too much. They had so many shoes on, they had so many like bags and everything like that, and it just felt like I was sitting in a wardrobe basically. And especially now that Alex is working from home, and he's got like calls and stuff, and we need to kind of like utilise our space a bit better, I really wanted to make sure that this was a functional working office. So what I'll do is I'll put a photo of, or no, I think I took some videos actually. I did take videos this time. I'll insert the clips now of what the office wardrobe space used to look like. As you can see, obviously the shelves just have a lot of shoes on them. It just feels very, very closety. And also I really didn't like, it just really bugged me that the wardrobe and the shelves weren't the same height. There was a big height difference, and I tried to make them look like a corner unit, but it just wasn't working. I didn't like how that looked. I wasn't utilising the space well enough, and I was just getting a little bit lazy with my storage and just kind of like shoving things wherever they fitted, or like, you know, in corners and crevices and like on the back of the door. So I've just kind of pinpointed the problems that I had and tried to rectify them, and I'm so happy with how it's turned out. Now obviously I haven't bought anything new. This is a rented space. I can't knock down walls, I can't add paneling to walls, I can't change the carpet or anything like that, but I can just make small tweaks in this room. So let me show you what it looks like now. Ta-da! Okay, so I know that it probably hasn't changed all that much in the grand scheme of things, but let me just kind of like show you what we're working with. So I have moved my mirror here, and I do actually have another mirror that is coming. So one thing I realized with this is that even though this looks okay here, the mirror is actually quite short, and so if I was to take like outfit selfies or anything like that, I would either have to stand really far back, or you would just get the whole in all the time. And I liked it, but I just wanted something a bit bigger that's kind of like, if I was to take my photos, you wouldn't see any kind of frame. And I'm not getting rid of this at all. I really like this. I've decided this is gonna go in the living room, so kind of behind the bar cart. We don't have any mirrors in there anymore, and I've always said to Alex, we need to have a mirror in there. It's something my mum always taught me, is that in every room you need to have a mirror and a clock. I don't have a clock in every room because I don't like the sound of the ticking, but I do want to have a mirror in every room, and it's just really handy just to like let the light bounce a bit more, open up the space. So I think that's where this is going to go, and obviously the gold is going to go really well with that. So yeah, I have a new mirror coming. It's gold, but it's a lot bigger, a lot taller, and it's square. It's from May.com. I'll link it down below because I think it's currently in the sale. I believe I bought it in the sale. So yeah, also this is what I'm wearing, by the way, today. Very casual look. This is the first time I put jeans on since Christmas, and I was, oh, that's my phone, and I was really impressed that they actually do up. They are not as loose as they used to be, but they do up, so that's a bonus. And yeah, and this is just a really nice casual chunky jumper from New Look. I'll link them both in the description box below. But yeah, so this kind of section here, let's let the light catch up. This section over here is a lot more like wardrobe-y. It's a lot more like, this is kind of the closet area. So obviously we've got the mirror, and then the wardrobe sits right there. This is definitely the best place for the wardrobe. I have established that it just can't go anywhere else. This is where it sits best. So that is going there. And then we've got the mirror beside it. Obviously I know I have this little strip of mirror, but it's not really a mirror. You can't really see yourself in it. And then as we go along here, I have really tidied up this area. So I used to have a big overhook hanger with lots of coats and bags and everything like that. I've gotten rid of that because it just really upset me in the background of videos, and I just didn't like how it looked. So I've just added a couple of command hooks. These are just the little ones like that. And I just have my hats on there, my fedoras, which I think looks really nice. And then this wall is looking a little bit more bare. Now you might be able to see there's a few marks. Annoyingly, the command hooks did leave a couple of marks. I think it was from when I just kind of like ripped them down a bit too quickly. You do have to be quite careful with them sometimes. So I am gonna have to patch up those marks on this wall. And then obviously that was from when we had the wardrobe over there. I will just fill those in and patch them up. So that's my job to do this weekend. But we still have the sofa bed here, which again, this is kind of like the only place the sofa bed can go, especially because when you have guests, you need to be able to open it up. So I need it to be in an area that is, first of all, nice for guests to be in, second of all big enough that I can open it up when they come and stay. And then I've just put a couple of prints in front of my radiator there. There's not really much I can do. I can't put anything over the top of it like a radiator cover, because where the heat comes out is at the top here, so you need to be able to keep that clear. Like, there's big signs saying do not put anything over this, and I don't want to like make a fire hazard or anything, so I've just put a couple of prints in front just to try and mask it a little bit. But obviously not a lot I can do there. And then swinging over here, so obviously I've got like my curtains and my windowsill and stuff. I've just put a couple of little prints there because obviously when I'm filming I don't want people to be able to see where I live, and it's a nice way just to kind of cover it up a little bit, because it is such a big window that you don't need both of them like completely letting in light. There is a lot of light that comes into this room, which is really, really nice. And then my favourite corner is this corner over here. So what I have done is I've moved my desk over a little bit. It's now partially in front of the window, which might upset some people. It doesn't upset me, and actually it's quite nice because it means I'm getting a bit more light as I'm doing my makeup in the morning. So it doesn't upset me at all. I quite like that. It's quite nice getting a bit more light. But I've tried really, really hard to make this into more of a working desk. So if you're wondering where Alex was in those beginning clips, because obviously I have him working from home now, he was in here. I literally just said to him, do you mind going to the other room as I'm filming? He can set his laptop and everything up here, and it works really, really well as a desk as well as my makeup vanity. So I've just got my like diaries and notebooks, my speaker so I can listen to music, a nice candle, then that's my jewellery box, and then that's my more like makeup-y stuff. So it kind of works really well both ways. And then I've put my little rail in the corner here. So this is going to be more of like a display rail. My favourite items, the new in pieces, the things that I want to like wear more. Obviously we've got lots of whites and neutrals and everything like that. So, and this is one of my favourite cardigans that I constantly put on when I'm chilly. So it's quite nice to keep that there so that I can just chuck it on whenever I get cold. But I quite like it in the corner there. This corner was really annoying me. It was quite a difficult one to match up because I find when the shelves are in the corner it's too much. But then having a big gap there, I was like, I need something to fill it, and the shelves fit in so perfectly. I would try and find these and link them down below. I've got them off Amazon, but I don't know if they do this colour anymore. They do them in black, but I really struggled to find white. So I'll have a look online for you guys and see if I can link it. And then for me, the biggest difference is the shelves. Now, to the untrained eye, they probably look no different, but I think they look so much better now that I've kind of just like cleared them up a little bit. It's obviously really difficult to show you the full shelves. Let me try and like get back as far as I can. Here we go. So I have taken away pretty much almost all of the shoes from the bottom. I've kept up a few of my favourite shoes, but I just wanted it to look a bit more like display boutique-y kind of vibes rather than just these are my shoes and all of my clothes. So I've kept like a couple of my favourite boots down there. We've got a little Dior bag. My Louis Vuitton has now gone down at the bottom because I wanted it to be a bit more display. So I've put, I really like how that looks with the vase and the pampas grass. I think it's very, very natural, very sweet. And also I think when I'm going to film my videos, you'll probably see the corner like that. So it's very, very sweet. And then Chloe obviously has its own little cubby. She always deserves her own cubby. It's got some Jo Malone boxes, some Made vases. Again, I'll try and link everything that I can in the description box. One thing I've done as well is turned over my Balenciagas, which I really, really like, because I think it just makes it look a bit more like display rather than just I've shoved my shoes on a shelf. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it looks. I haven't made any changes to this one. I always loved that shelf, but I have made quite a few changes like as we go down. And to me, they just look a lot more inviting, a lot more, this is a wardrobe, but this is also a working space. This is a lovely display kind of area. So I'm really, really happy with how that looks. And then I've just left those prints on the wall as they are because I do really, really like them. If I want to change them, I can. But for now, I think they're going to stay the same because I do think they look really, really lovely. But yeah, those are the changes that I've been making in the office. Guys, I can't tell you how much I like this view now as I'm filming. It's so nice just to like really appreciate what's behind you. Now my biggest thing is just going to be keeping the room tidy, but one of my resolutions of this year is to kind of like use the storage in the wardrobe a lot better, a lot more kind of officially, and like just not dump things. And that is just like my biggest resolution. You know those memes where it's like, my New Year's resolution is that when I take clothes off to put them on the hanger, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a big problem in my life. That is like the story of my life, especially when I get new and things. I just shove them on the sofa and they sit there for days. The amount of times I'm vlogging or storying and I'm like, sorry about the mess, guys, and I just don't want to have to keep apologizing about the mess. So that's going to be one of my biggest things with this room, but I think especially if I'm using it a bit more as a wardrobe space, and especially with lockdown, I'm not doing as many shoots, so I'm not getting as many like new in pieces, and I think it's just going to be a much more zen space, a space that both me and Alex can use if he needs it. He usually just works the kitchen table, but it does mean if I need to kick him out of that room and use in there for filming myself, then I can, and he can come in here really, really comfortably. So I'm so happy with how this has turned out. As I said, I will link as much as I can in the description box below. It's going to be a mammoth description box with a lot of links, but I will try and do it like in order so that it's as functional and like makes as much sense as possible. But I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing these new home updates, seeing around the flat and having a bit of an office tour. I always love showing you guys interior, and I feel like especially now that we're all at home, we're all spending a lot more time in flats, indoors, in our offices, in our rooms. It's just so important to make the room around you make you feel good. I'm very much like the kind of person whose surroundings affects her mood. So if I don't like how my surroundings look, then I'm not going to be a nice person. But that's also why I haven't done the bedroom, because I spend so little time in there. I really only go in there to get dressed in the morning and to go to bed at night, that it doesn't affect my mood as much as these two rooms. So that's why I've put so much effort into this room and the living room, kitchen, dining room, because they are just so much more important to me. But yeah, and hopefully this can also show you that, like, even if you are in a rented space, you can make it your own. You can make it as lovely as possible. You don't have to own your own house for it to be like your home. Obviously we rent this flat and I feel so at home here. I couldn't feel any more at home. Alex was literally saying to me the other day how much he loves our flat, which makes me really, really happy that he loves it as much as I do. But I feel like I've waffled on far long enough. I'm so sorry, this video is probably so long as per usual, but I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I would love it if you subscribe. We're getting really, really close to 6K now, which is so exciting. I love seeing a little online family grow. I love seeing you guys like interacting with each other, and it just makes me so happy. So I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.